Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Today's farming-related activity is gong plow. And you can see traditional simplified again converged because I guess it is meaningful enough for simplified not to take anything away from it. Okay, it's made of left and right, two parts you can see. And this script form of the same character from 2000 years ago's dictionary looks like this. And this gives us more clue, even if the contemporary simplified or traditional still looks pretty similar. But the 2000 years ago version preserved more of it. For one, you notice there is a dot in between these lines like this, right? This is our well, water well or mineral well. And I believe in this context of plow, it is irrigation system back then. So the dot in there means water source. It's important to stay close to controlled water irrigation, right? So this dot means water in between. Versus the contemporary version, the dot was taken out because I guess it's not significant enough, and just by this is enough to show. An interesting point of that well symbol here, you notice it kind of look like the pound sign on your phone. So that's when Chinese uh, import phone symbols, we call it 井字键. We call it well character button instead of saying this pound sign. So it's different. Okay, the left side is set to be a type of tool to loosen the soil. Yeah, because it's plow, right? But the way it works is there's three diagonal lines, almost like a spiral looking thing, was kind of a crank between that the user of this tool is going to crank it, and then the bottom kind of look like brushes with some edges to loosen the soil. I don't know exactly how the thing looks, but that ancient tool, along with the fact that it's going to work on the farm close to irrigation, it's kind of like a human developed environment to make sure to almost like as guarantee as possible, as close as possible to produce the crops versus totally dependent on the natural condition. If you get enough rain at the right time of the year, over there, it shows a little bit more controlled environment from by humans to provide for the crops the right condition, right? So that's plow. This character, honestly, we don't have much use in today's world. Yesterday's and the day before yesterday's, the do's and deeds, the achievement, or the strengths, those are still concepts that's easily transferable in today's living conditions. But this plow is too farming specific that it's hard to incorporate into our now, like I don't know, 90% of our population is nothing to do with agriculture anymore. So we don't really have much knowledge. The users of language don't have the knowledge, therefore it's harder to relate to that, what that lifestyle represents and what the meaning, even if we want to transfer, it would be harder. So here are what I can gather for you. 耕耘收获. Okay, 耕耘收获, still commonly used today. We know in general it refers to farming activity. 耕耘 means farming in general, but if we want to unpack it further, 耕 means plow, loosen the soil, close to irrigation, right? And 云 actually means weed. Means you get rid of something. I mean, things that you don't eat, right? Has nothing to do with your food source, but instead, this weed are taking advantage of the environment you create with good irrigation, with loosened, I guess, well oxidized, nutrition rich soil. you want to get rid of that so that all the resources, the efforts you put into are going directly to your crop. So this is 耕 and 耘, 收 and 获. Okay, 收 means gather. I guess that's 耕耘 means the beginning of the act, and 收获 is the end result that you're going to gather whatever food you produce for that year, and 获 actually means catch. So if we say gather is for fibers or carbs in today's, not carbs, what is it called? The glutens, glucose. Okay, so if we, yeah, or carb is probably the right word. That not calories, but carbs, plant-based versus catch is protein. So even if here we're talking only about farming, but I guess 收 and 获 actually talks about harvesting crops, and this one is catching proteins. And I guess the farming, I guess, adjacent activity would be raise farm animals. So we have a protein source as well. So this catch is corresponding to gather, to mean you gather the protein at the end of the year of your raising them, right? Okay, 比耕不辍 is still today's commonly used. It means somebody, some author, publisher, not publisher, author keeps writing and is not going to stop anytime soon. So this 比耕, we make it clear here, it's not about farming. It's actually you put in the labor as if it's plowing, but you're actually using your pen. Instead of using the farming tool, you're using the pen to create, to prepare the bed for new thoughts or new ideas, new discussions, inspire other people, something like that. So 比耕 means you make an impact to the world through your pen. We also have a 舌耕. Okay, let's get back to 比耕. 比耕 is more like in the business. Today's roles would be journalists, authors, or researchers who publish. So that's 比耕 versus a 舌耕 tongue. We use the tongue to represent speech, speaking. So 舌耕 means you influence the world by speaking, by using your tongue function, equivalent of professors, teachers, public speakers, even managerial roles who would require a pretty good verbal communication. I mean, 舌耕 probably I'm in that category as well, that I'm just by talking, sharing. So that's the two possible still carryover of that 耕, that plow, into other professions using other tools. Okay, 不辍, so nonstop. 耕到而得到. Okay, this is not something that commonly used actually, because I have to, gather like sufficient number of expressions. But this kind of evoke an understanding of the ancient philosophy of if you plow the path, Tao in general at the beginning is Taoism, the same Tao. Okay, it's a philosophy born in China, made in China philosophy, Taoism, and this Tao originally means path, like a pathway. So you try to figure out the pathways through life, right? So if you plow your path and 得到, you're going to get that path. So it's in today's lingo, it will be equivalent to if you want to go somewhere, you have to you have to plow, you have to pave the road to there, so to speak. You have to be almost like a pioneer to travel down that path, because there was no pathway. Everybody have their own path, and you most likely not going to step on anybody else's path. Even if at the beginning of their journey, you travel on the most tread pathway, but eventually you have to branch out to find your own path somewhere, because every one of us have their own calling, And the philosophy basically saying you plow that path, and eventually you're going to blaze down that path, kind of a burn to leave marks on earth of your unique pathway. So that's I find it beautiful and still very relevant to today. Okay, so that's Gong. Thank you for your time. See you another day.